how I created my gesture controlled filter. The first thing I did in GIMP was open the face mesh. This face mesh comes from the Spark AR software. I then selected the brush. I made sure that I adjusted the opacity as well as the hardness and softness of the brush in order to create a soft look for the eyeshadow. I decided to add more colors to add more dimension to my look. This is purely because a lot of women wear more than one color when testing makeup. I also made sure that the eyeshadow fits perfectly to the face mesh, otherwise there'll be overlaps when it goes onto the person's face. GIMP made it easy to copy and paste and flip the eyeshadow to the other side so that both sides would be equal. Once you have completed this step, you can go on to exporting and import it into Spark AR. Navigating yourself around Spark AR. Once you open Spark AR, you'll notice that there's a male model. However, you can go into the camera settings and change this model from male to female. The next step you're going to take is add a face mesh. This allows you to change the materials or deformation or retouching the skin. Basically, it allows you to import your features that you've made off of GIMP into Spark AR. Once the mesh has been imported, you go into materials. This is where I selected my pink eyeshadow that I made. I then repeated this step for the lipstick, and so on and so forth until you have all of the meshes and all of your features that you want to add into your filter. Once you're happy with your filter, you can go into the camera option, go back to your models and try on the filter on all the different models to see how it fits to their faces, as well as how it looks on their skin tone. I also decided that I wanted to add some deformation to the face, so that I could enhance the size of the lips slightly, as well as pinch the nose and the cheekbones in. This is so that my makeup filter can fit perfectly to the user's face and enhance the makeup. Once you are happy with the deformation that you've done on the face mesh, you can export it and then go back into Spark AR. Add another face mesh. This time, instead of going into materials, you go into deformation and add the deformation that you have made. Once you're happy with all of the assets that you've added and created, you can then add a face track. This is where you can start coding and programming the gesture controlled features. As you can see, I've added 2 gesture controlled commands. The first one is blink and the second one is open mouth. Each command has a counter. For the blinking, the maximum count is 10, and for the opening the mouth, the maximum count is 8. This corresponds to the amount of colors that I have. For the eyeshadows, I have 10 different colors, and for the mouth, for the lipsticks, I have 8 different colors. This means that once it has reached the maximum count, it will go back to the first color, starting the cycle again. Once you have completed and you are happy with your filter, you can then go onto the Spark AR website where you can log in via Facebook. You can then publish the effect, and depending on how many details you have in your filter, it takes 1 to 9 working days to be published.